Hello, very good evening to you, and welcome to the second kind of installment, as it were, of the locker room on our Thursday night. I've got to say, before I start the show tonight, I've got to say thanks to Regan and the guy for looking after the show for the last couple of weeks. I've not been here; I've been elsewhere, but it's good to be back, and good to be back with Regan again. How are you?
Not bad, mate. It's great to have you back. It's been a while, mate. I hope things are doing good for you now, and we can look back at Celtic. We can talk about Rangers tonight. A big match tonight. So, aye,
Yeah, it's good to be back. And the only person that I've missed is you, Reagan. But I've got to say that anyway. So,
aye,
um,
aye.
yeah,
You've been paid for that, aye.
hey, exact 5 pence. Anyway, we're on till 7 o'clock tonight. To build up to the Man United Rangers game, and then we'll be back on at 10 o'clock with Reagan and our usual Rangers fan Andy. He'll be joining us to look back in the Man United Rangers game. Get your comment coming in. We're on until 7 o'clock as always, and we have got a comment here from James Connolly. He says, "Hi, Clips. Hope everybody is well, and well, I hope you're well as well, James. And thanks for watching us on the old Facebook." Right, Reagan, let's get into it then. It's Man United against Rangers, and it's been a kind of funny build up to this one because I don't know if you saw the Man United press conference yesterday, but they hardly mentioned the game tonight. It was always the manager's reaction to the weekend's defeat. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about the fact that Almiron's talking about he mentioned that it's the worst Man United team that he's ever seen in his life, and obviously the Man United fans would probably beg to differ because a few years ago, when I was not born, Michael, I'm sure you were born then, back in the 1930s or 40s, Man United were getting relegated and all that sort of stuff. So, but I can understand what he means though, because Man United are somewhat 14th in the league. So,
It's and obviously we're here to talk about Man United, but obviously Rangers because we are in Scotland and they're based in Scotland as well. But I wanted to ask you about the Man United team as a whole, Regan, before we actually get into the game. Do you think that Man United fans have been spoiled over the years by, say, the Alex Ferguson bit, like in terms of when Fergie left, they brought in the special one, as I say. No, not you, Reagan. Mourinho and David Moyes and Van Gaal and all that. So they brought in top managers, but they're still not getting any kind of like consistency. So do you think that Man United has been spoiled in a way by watching Fergie's teams down the years and then being left with a kind of make would you say mediocre team, or would you not go as far as to say that?
I think they have been spoiled, and I think in terms of like Man United, I mean, it was only this time last year they won the FA Cup against arguably the best team in the planet, Man City. So I think Man United fans need a reality check. You look at other teams down in England, like Chelsea, they went through a barren spell, then they brought in Jose Mourinho. You look at even Spurs, and even Man City, because Michael, I don't know if there's any Man City fans listening, but they'll even admit, even before they brought in all the money from Saudi or the Arabs, then they were a totally different team. Man City were getting beat 7-1 by Middlesbrough. They were getting beat by all sorts of teams. So I think in terms of Man U, and football runs in cycles as well, Michael. So I think you're spot on there. They're probably been spoiled a little bit.
And I suppose as well, Reagan, that I was just thinking about this, well, for a while now, obviously, because they were seeing that the English Football League's the big league in the world, and I I beg to differ about that one. Some of the games that you watch are kind of boring, and you begin kind of like open the curtains basically to watch the game. But do you think that I mean, money can buy you good players, but I mean, it just shows you, money's not everything, because if you gel a team like Man United together, or even Man City, it doesn't guarantee you success.
I think in general life, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it can buy you success, like we seen with Manchester City, because they've had the Arabs and stuff like that. But I think in terms of Man United, I think the fans are just sick of the way that the Glazers run the club. But I think it's been interesting because they've got obviously that Jim Radcliffe, and he's like they thought that he would bring some sort of success, but it's not really happened like that, Michael.
No, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, it just shows you that money's not everything, and all that. And I might think that an old man here, but football's not football now. Football's a business, and I think I said that on the show as well. Let's get into the game then. Man United against Rangers, 8 o'clock kickoff. It's on TNT Sport, but we'll be back at 10 o'clock to look back on the 90 minutes of the game. Listening to Phil come on yesterday, they've got a lot of players missing, but it can hint that maybe Jack Butland will be back in the sticks tonight. Do you feel as though Liam Kelly will be a bit disappointed?
I think he will be, but I think you'll know that in terms of like um, getting a result, Jack Butland's probably the best goalkeeper to put in there because if Rangers want to get a result, they're going to go through periods of pressure and periods of time where Man United will be shooting at their goal, they'll be creating chances and that. So Rangers will need to be resolute in what they're doing. And I think it's interesting as well that Jack Butland's a big Manchester United fan as well, he was saying. So it'll just be great for everybody involved to be involved in such a big fixture. Because I remember growing up, people spoke about Rangers and Leeds, Celtic and Blackburn and all that. You know, these are the games that you live for. You go back to that match at Anfield with Big John Harrison, who I've spoken to before. He scored in that game. So the Battle of Britain is just it's a big thing, Michael. And you even look at next week, and I'm sure me and you'll be on next week for the Celtic and Aston Villa game. So I think overall, I think it'll just be a great spectacle for everybody.
Yeah, no, exactly. And also, I know that we speak about the Battle of Britain in terms of like that famous game in the 90s where Rangers played Leeds United. And we all know what team James Tavernier wanted to win that game. And it wasn't Rangers, because he said yesterday, Reagan, that he's a big Leeds United fan as well. But like talking about the Battle of Britain, it actually puts Scottish football on the map even more, because you know people think it's a Mickey Mouse League as well up here in Scotland.
Aye, but also, Michael, it just shows you that Celtic are through to the Champions League playoff stage with a game to spare. It can't be that bad. And Manchester City, who spent all that money from Saudi and the Arabs um, in terms of spending all that money, and it's not really got them much, but because Man City are 24th and Celtic are something like 17th for 18. So I think it's very good, and I hope for a Scottish football point of view tonight that Rangers can try and get something for the game, or even if they don't, you want it to be respectful as well. You don't want it to be like a 4-0 by half time job. You want it to be Rangers are doing well and they're being competitive in the game.
Yep, and and another busy week next week as well, because Rangers have finished off at home against Union Saint and Celtic's away to Aston Villa. So double shift next week, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. I think Reagan's watching the Tottenham game at the moment, actually. So is there any score on that one, or is it?
Yeah, it's 2-0 to Tottenham right now. I'm watching it. Aye.
2-0 to Tottenham, yeah. And you can tell Reagan's a Tottenham fan, got a big smile on his face. Oh, maybe because I'm back on the show. I don't know.
I think it's because you're back on the show, Michael.
Yeah. I hope
I've missed you.
I hope it's a latter. Merry Christmas. But I think I've missed that one as well. Keep your comment.
A bit late.
Yeah. Happy Easter. Keep your comments coming in, but on until 7 o'clock tonight. How do you think that Rangers will approach this game tonight? Because it's Man United has not been playing well away from home, but also at home as well.
I think Rangers just need to approach it and try and be compact, be resolute, and try and see what the opposition are made of, because Man United can be fragile. See if the score is nothing each and it's still up for debate. And at the last half an hour of the game, Rangers are fans of their chances, because Rangers showed against Spurs that they're a proper team. I mean, like, Rangers have beat so many great teams over the past few years in Europe. Dortmund, Porto, Sparta Prague, Slavia Prague. They've beat a lot of teams. So Rangers have got the caliber to show that they're able to do well at this level.
Yeah, so I'll bring this comment up from Gordy Boy, whoever you are, Mr. Duffy.
I think that's great.
Yeah, but he makes an interesting comment. That's why he's not on the show now, because he makes interesting comments about something about he said, good evening, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Rangers got a result tonight. And to be honest, I have been saying that for weeks, that they would go down and upset them, upset Man United. But this is an interesting thing, Reagan, and might ask Andy later, why are Rangers a different team in Europe? And obviously, Glenn went on to say Man United are a great side at the moment. We know that, but why is that? That must be the big question in Rangers fans' lips at the moment. Why are they not competing against the likes of Ross County, Dundee? But when it comes to European football, whether it's Ibrox or Manchester tonight, they can go and compete and get a result.
I think in terms of Rangers, probably because they've got less pressure on them, because they're expected to beat St Johnstone 2-0. But if you go to Europe, they're playing against Borussia Dortmund, Manchester United, and they're playing against really good teams. So I think that's part of it. That they've got less pressure, and they're also not as open. If you go to a Rangers game, if they're playing Ross County, Rangers are dominating the ball. So in terms of Ross County, they're sitting behind the ball, making it difficult. But if it's like a Borussia Dortmund or a Manchester United, they'll be creating chances. So there's space for Rangers. There's space for Igamani. Like we seen against Spurs when Igamani exploited the space that Ange Ball was leaving him, because Ange Ball is fast. As we know, Michael, from watching Celtic, it's very fast paced, and Rangers used that to their advantage because there was space in behind there.
Let's hear from Fab. Come on, he was speaking yesterday ahead of the game. He says we're going to be missing some players, but we have enough to come in and do a job. And then he goes on to say we have a game plan, but we need to focus on ourselves. And that's the thing, Reagan. That the player that are missing out tonight is a big miss for Rangers, but the players that are coming in, they must step up to the mark and all that, and plus it will give them experience by playing it, kind of like as they say, the theatre of dreams, because it's a wonderful playing surface, kind of like Old Trafford.
Yeah, but the good thing is as well, Michael, because Rangers play Ibrox full of fans, I don't think it's something where they'll be intimidated, but I hope it's not anyway. So I think in terms of Rangers, they'll just be hoping to win in the game and make it a very competitive match.
What about Graham? Graham makes a comment here again. About kind of like nerves and anxiety, and I know that you can say that about Rangers as well, because obviously it's two teams on the park as well, but especially Man United, and especially the way they performed. It's funny, Reagan, because when teams go through a bad spell, you're thinking, well, they're playing badly away from home as well, and they're playing okay at home, and they're picking up results. But it's at home and away at the moment. Why is that?
I think in terms of Man United, I think it's because of the pressure that they're under. I know people say that Man United are a big club, but I would probably say that they're a big club because the way I judge it, if you go to China or Asia or wherever, the three clubs that you see is Celtic, Rangers, and Man United and Liverpool. They're all the clubs that you, well, if you go to Asia, you go to Thailand and Australia, they're the clubs that you see. You see a Man United, a Liverpool shirt, and you see a Celtic Rangers. You know, as much as folks say Chelsea are a big club because they won the Champions League, they're not a big club compared to Man United, compared to Celtic or Liverpool or Rangers, in my opinion.
I mean, it just shows you as well, Reagan, what I was saying earlier on as well about you can be the richest club in the world, but you can be a failure on the park. I'm thinking about Man City this season.
I mean, Man City, I don't know if you've seen it last night, Michael. I know you were watching the Celtic game, and obviously, if you've no caught up on the post match last night from James and Graham and that sort of stuff, then please do watch it again because there was some great stuff in there. But I think so, so, Manchester City are a good example because they went 2-0 up in Paris last night and still got beat 4-2. So that just shows you that I think Man City are now bottom of the champion of the 24, and they need to beat Bruges to stand a chance of qualifying. So I think it'll be interesting to see it. And like you said, just because they've got all that money, it just shows you that that self belief is very important in football because Man City have clearly not got the squad that's able to go out there and win at the moment.
Although you can turn it on its head a wee bit, Reagan, and say about Barcelona the other night and Benfica. I mean, they were behind in that. I've never seen a game like that before.
Aye, they were 4-2 behind with some like 20 minutes to go, and they end up winning 5-4. So what a game that was! I mean, it was brilliant. I don't know if you seen the third goal when it bounced off the keeper and went in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like my standard of Sunday morning, Sunday league or Sunday league pub that we're doing the park. I would come off my legs, Reagan, and into the net.
I'm looking forward to seeing you playing in a locker room charity match.
Yeah, exactly. You'll not be able to see me, Reagan, because it'll be inside a locker because it's a locker room. So, get your comments coming in. We're here until 7:00 and maybe about 7:15. Reagan will have the team news come out for the Man United against Rangers as well. So, as we always do the shows, Reagan, I always talk about taking the game in stages. Do you think it's a difficult position tonight because do you think Rangers will take it in stages, or do you think they'll start the game in a front foot I'm just thinking about the way Man United get out at the moment, and if Rangers get a quick goal or a quick free kick or a set piece, maybe that will quieten the fans getting a wee bit.
I think they'll try and see how it goes because even like you said, even because Man United are playing really bad at the minute, Michael, they're still a very good team. But it's quite ironic. The guy that's the top player for Man United at the minute, he played for Rangers about 2 or 3 years ago when Ange Postecoglou was here.
Mm-hmm.
Diallo.
But, yeah, so it's I mean, as I say, it's got to put Scottish football on the map. If Rangers get even, I mean, if I was for Clermont or any of the Rangers fans, I would be going down the confident, but also I would be saying to Clermont, do not come over the park losing the game, because I think that they'll take a point off you at the moment.
I definitely. I mean, like, in terms of what Rangers need to do, they just need to be compact because Rangers are, if they can try and stand with authority in the game, they can definitely do something in this game.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, I suppose it's like I suppose it's like no matter what happens tonight, it's about Britain and all that kind of stuff. Scotland against England and William Wallace and stuff like that. But Man United could be up for the game as well.
I think they should, but I'm not going to give too much credit to Jim White. But I think I actually agree with his point, right? He said this morning on a different radio platform.
Jim who?
Yeah. He said that
I've
basically,
never heard of the guy.
he said that, he said that does the Battle of Britain mean more to the Scottish teams because they're the minerals?
I suppose I agree with the guy's point, even though I don't know who he is. By the way, I'm tagging on just in case you think I'm, But no, I mean, I think that goes back to my point, Reagan, about if Rangers get a point or win the game, it puts Scottish football on the map even more. But in saying that, if Rangers wins tonight or gets a point, then the English media will be saying, well, Man United get in there at the best, so you can't win.
No, you're right, you can't win. But I think it will just bring some credibility back to Scottish football in terms of trying to. Because, like you said, people are mocking it. It was only like a year ago people were saying, is Brendan Rodgers' tactics good for Europe? Is he able to adapt? So I feel like now for Brendan Rodgers in particular, he's managed to prove people wrong. He's managed to show, right, my tactics actually do work in Europe because Celtic are playing well.
Yeah. So what do you think? Obviously, before the teams come out and all that, but what do you think that the Rangers team will be tonight?
I would say Jack Butland. He might throw in the young new centre back Fernandez. Don't know if he'll be in the squad. I know Danilo's not in the squad, so you'll probably go with Tavernier, Ciala at the centre back, along with Proper, and then he'll probably go with. Well, I think I read today that Diamandi's injured, so he'll definitely play Nico Raskan. But it's just a case of who does he play alongside him? Does he go with Connor Barron, or does he go with the more experienced kind of players?
Do you think as well that when Rangers go to a venue like Old Trafford and all that, they would have to keep their discipline, because we know what happened to Maeda last night in the Celtic game, and we'll probably touch upon it tomorrow on the show. It was a bit of a stupid moment, you would say. So do you think that it's crucial that Rangers keeps their discipline tonight?
I think it's very important, especially early on in the game, because if they get a red card very early on in the game, then it could be a long, long night for the Rangers players and fans. So I think they'll just be hoping to try and be as compact as possible, see what they can do, and then try and grow their way into the game. But I don't think they'll be doing what St Johnson doing part-time buses. I think they'll be having a go as well, which will be good to see.
I think I'm expecting a very kind of like open game. I've never saw Man United in live play, if you know what I mean. For maybe I think I saw them in the FA Cup game. But that was about it. But it's going to be quite interesting as well because you know that they'll have that big support there, but also Rangers are. I don't know the official numbers, but I think Rangers are taking a big number of fans getting as well.
Yeah, they will be. I mean, they'll just be hoping that they can take down the support and hopefully it'll be a memorable night. But also as well, you need to remember that these are the occasions that these fans kind of look to enjoy as well because how often do you get to experience matches like that? So I think it'll just be really uh, interesting for the fans to be there and think, well, this is a match that we can really cherish and look back on for years to come.
And I think as well, it's all about experience as well. I'm thinking about Ross McCormack and players like that, just to kind of like sample the atmosphere. It's okay playing at Ibrox in front of 50,000, but you're going to Manchester in a big arena.
And I know it's a wee blooper for you, Michael, but Ross McCormack's about 40 years of age, so hope Ross McCormack's not playing.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's why I've been off for so long now. I meant Ross McCausland. Did you like the rebound there, Reagan?
I did.
That's why I've been off for ages.
I hope to God Ross McCormack's not playing because he's nearly 40 years of age.
Graham makes a good point, saying that Rangers need to keep Danilo quiet as he is a big threat for United. And they ask, yeah.
I think Graham makes a good point there in terms of, but as I said about 10, 15 minutes ago, this was a guy that was in Scotland and didn't rip up any trees, Graham. But now it seems to be that he's shown his quality. So I just hope tonight, from a Rangers point of view, that it doesn't show his quality. So I think in terms of what Rangers have got to offer Man U, all that Man United need to do is they need to watch the match against Spurs and go, right, well, that's top opposition, and Rangers cause them real problems.
Do you think Man United have done their homework in Igamani? Because obviously I've not been on the show for a while, but I mean he's a danger player for Rangers, and also we saw him in the cup final against Celtic in the league game at Ibrox in the New Year as well. He scores a lot of goals. And he's a tricky wee player as well. So do you think Man United will have done? Obviously, they'll have done the homework in the whole team, but especially Igamani.
I think they would have been daft if they didn't do the homework because if they didn't do the homework, then Igamani will be scoring a lot of goals tonight because I think he's just a very good player. And I know Andy might not like to hear this, but I think he's probably, if you're looking at a Rangers board point of view, he's somebody that you're looking to sell and someone go, look, we can try and recruit a bit of good money for him. Because when's the last time Rangers as a football club actually got a proper amount of money for a player? Probably about
And
about 2 or 3 years ago when they got Nathan Patterson.
yeah, and I suppose as well that we can touch upon this tomorrow as well about Kyogo might be going away to France. And I think that's a done deal.
There was a picture on Sky Sports News in France saying that Kyogo's now in the French airport. So
Well,
yeah,
if we want to get Reagan at 2 o'clock, we would have said that you and me, well, especially you, kind of broke the news to me that he was away. But I mean, it does show you from a business point of view, it's kind of good for the club, and you don't want to get rid of your top striker, and that's what Kyogo would be. And in terms of Rangers, um, I think that if I'm going to be nitpicking, I think Rangers make my money more than Celtic. Would you agree with me there?
I think Rangers do need the money, Michael, and I think they'll be trying to because that's something that the club need to do. Every club in every market is a selling club. I mean, people go like that, oh, we're not a selling club, but they are a selling club. You look at Man United, they're looking to sell their best academy prospect to Rashford to Barcelona. So every club's a selling club, and doesn't matter what Marcus Rashford's done before. He scored in the FA Cup final last year, but this season he's been dreadful. He's been dreadful. So the Man United are quite rightfully looking to get that guy off the wage bill because I think he's on something like 400 grand a week.
What and I suppose as well that we can touch upon this tomorrow as well about Kyogo and from Andy's point of view, that's hope none of the Rangers players go as well. But I mean, I just showed you because apparently the manager from the international team from Japan basically said to Kyogo, if you want a game, you need to move. So is that an issue for Scottish football? Because I remember years ago, I don't know if you remember this, Alan Thompson only got one cap for Scotland and
You, sorry, Michael, you mean England? Alan Thompson.
England. Yeah. I've told you I've been off for too long. I'm a bit dusty. Yeah, but and Swengo and Ericsson, it took him a whole season, I think it was, to come up to Scotland. So, do you think it's a bit of snobbery by English teams, but also international teams as well, because they don't target Scottish football to be a top league. And by the way, listen, I know that we're not going to be ever a top league because obviously you've got to take into second scans the finance of the game and all that. But do you think people look down their nose at Scottish football at times?
I think they do look down their nose, but I don't see why they would because look at all the players that were produced over the years. You've got Starfield, you've got Mal O'Reilly, Kyogo Nakamura. Those these are guys that Celtic have proven to sell for big money. You've got Tierney, you've got loads of players, and I'm sure over the coming years they'll sell Engels and Rio Ita as well. So there's definitely value in the Scottish market. Look at the guy playing for Dundee United at the minute, Sam Dalby. That's a guy that was playing in England and not getting an opportunity. Comes up to Scotland, he's doing really well, and they're talking about him getting his first call up to the national teams. And there's a guy playing for Dundee United, I think it is, and he's been told about going to the Island squad as well. So I think Scottish football is a very good platform for people.
Do you think as well, from a Rangers point of view, it's going to be a big test tonight because obviously the professional players and no matter who they play, they do a job. But I mean, if you think about the last league game, now, I can't remember offhand who they played, but take for instance last Sunday they played Fraserburgh in the Scottish Cup, and then they're jumping back up to the top level and playing Man United again. Do you think that's going to make any difference in terms of the levels?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, Michael, I think if Man United play to their full capability, everybody's on form, there's only going to be one winner. So Rangers will be hoping, with their point of view, that Man United don't, because if Man United play the way that they possibly can, then there's only one winner there.
Yeah, no, exactly. Um, you know, but I suppose that club come on would maybe say to his players, no matter who you're playing for, no matter who you're playing against, you've got to do a professional job. Because he was asked that on Friday at the press, and they were asking him, "Do you think, your, do you think your do you think your plans and preparations will change for the game against Fraserburgh?" And I said, no, I'm going to treat every game the same. So, no matter if they play, Peterhead tomorrow night, Man United get next week, it's good to be the same across the board.
I think it will be, and I think in terms of like Man United or Fraser, but Rangers know that they can go into the game and they can cause problems. So I think if you're looking at it from a Rangers point of view, they'll just be going in, treating it a different game and a new game and going right. Of course, we know it's Man United, but we know that this is a real opportunity. As Graham was saying earlier, it's an opportunity for Rangers. It's not as if it's Man United that are flying high under Ferguson, as you spoke about before. This is a Man United team that are languishing, that are not doing too well. So I think Rangers are in the best possible shape to be playing Man United.
And I suppose on the back of that point, Reagan, it's a good time to play Man United as well.
Think it is, but I do feel like the manager saying that this is the worst Man United team as well is to try and put a bit of pressure on the Man United players as well, because he's trying to do a bit of reverse psychology to go, "Hi guys, I'm telling you that you are absolutely terrible, so you better show up."
But that could backfire. That could backfire on him as well, Reagan, because I remember like Neil Lennon said that when he was at Hibs and then he was at Celtic, and we all know how that ended up. So, I mean, it could work for Man United. Oils, it could backfire right on his face.
I think it could, but I think in terms of Man United, it's about time they actually gave a manager like Almiron time, because somebody like Ten Hag, as much as he won trophies, the football that he played wasn't very good. But if you watch Almiron in Champions League matches against Man City for his sporting team, you can see a clear plan there. You can see his team playing well and playing that kind of fast attacking play. So I think if you're Man United, then you're hoping that eventually that things will turn and things will get better.
Yeah, no. So yeah, so that's the game tonight. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting how coming out and saying that. Do you think that he should get kicked inside regressing him?
In terms of what he said,
Yeah,
I think he's just saying that because he knows that Rangers are a threat, doesn't he? He knows that he needs to get these players up for the match, and obviously, see if you're Rangers, like I said earlier, you're going into this in the best possible shape. You're going in there winning a lot of matches. Also, you've got the factor that Rangers are going into it with Man United not playing so well either.
yeah, no, definitely, but I think when I was listening to him at the press conference today, well, last night it was, but I thought today, but he said that he's a passionate guy, but there's a bit of a difference, Reagan, than being passionate and saying it.
Yeah, I think there is a difference. I think you're right there, Michael, in terms of like like you said, it can backfire for the manager. So there needs to be um, a bit of reality in terms of trying to make sure that the players are still on board with you as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I suppose that that what we say get a bit like Rangers when they beat Celtic a couple of weeks ago, and it was a brilliant performance from Rangers, and they fully deserve to win. But I bet you the obvious question that you were asking on the show is going back up now. And then they went away to Hibs, and obviously, and that's the same with Man United. For instance, if they won tonight, okay, good. But what happens at the weekend? You get, I think they play Fulham on Sunday, so it doesn't matter if they win tonight against Rangers, or it does for their qualification hopes. But it's okay doing it about 5 games or about 10 games, but you've got to do it consistently.
Yeah, you have. And I think in terms of Man United, they'll be looking for this Rangers performance to try and kickstart their season, Michael.
Yeah, no, and what better way to do it than in the Battle of Britain against Man United at Old Trafford. Kick off 8 o'clock. Get your comments coming in. But here until 7 o'clock. Reagan is looking for the teams as we speak, and we'll get them to you. And we'll be back at 10 o'clock with Andy. Just a wee quick mention about the show tomorrow. We'll be back with the preview show. Hopefully, this game's on the weekend, Reagan. I'm scared just in case I get blown away. But yeah, so we'll be on tomorrow and on Sunday, and then next Wednesday and Thursday for the last Champions League games and the Europa League games as well. So a busy time for the locker room, Reagan. Back-to-back football.
Yeah, it's very busy. I'm looking forward to it, and I feel like it's a real chance for everybody to really knuckle down that top six place. There's obviously things on the line for everybody. Celtic to win the league, for Aberdeen to try and bounce back for their woes. So there's so much still to happen.
Yeah, no, exactly. And but I mean, when we do these shows, Reagan, right, about if say Rangers are playing, Leo or Nice, away from home, or Celtic were playing Young Boys last night, or whoever the case may be. But tonight they're playing Man United. Do you know think there's something special about the game? Because as we keep going on about the Battle of Britain.
Yeah, I mean, like, Rangers and Man United is a special game, and it's going to be watched by so many people. So it's just it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's got to be good as well because we've actually I've done a big year and like we've been spoiled for good games of football because some of the weeks some of the football has been dire, but the game on Monday night, Dundee Mikey, that was a brilliant game. Barcelona last night, on Tuesday night, so that was a good game, and Celtic game. It was okay last night. Celtic played well in the first half. It was a game of two halves, I think, because Celtic fell at the game in the second half, but they got it was ironic that they got 2 goals offside, disappointing penalty, but an own goal. But it doesn't matter. Celtic's qualified.
Yeah, Michael, you're spot on in terms of nothing really matters in terms of Rangers and that. All Rangers can do is try and make sure that they are able to to get the 3 points that they need. And obviously there's that wee added spice as well.
Yeah, no, exactly, and there's added space as well because I'm just thinking about, and we'll talk about that. Somebody's coming on the show in a few weeks to speak about the Six Nations, but I'm always interested about the Scotland England game and the rugby. Maybe not the same rivalry that as in football, but there's something special about playing your neighbours, whether it's in Scotland or England. And
Uh,
and Rangers has had two bites of the cherry. They played Tottenham a few weeks ago, and Man United tonight.
I special. I mean, in terms of what these matches will always be special. So in terms of Rangers, it's just about rising to the occasion, trying to try, trying to make sure that they can um, try and get everything possible to make sure that they're able to hopefully get the 3 points. But if they don't, then make sure it's a respectable score, and also try and make sure that if it's not a point, then it's respectable. Because, like you said, a lot of people down south don't respect the Scottish football, so it's all about just trying to make sure that we show Scottish football in a positive way.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly, and I suppose as well that you know, you know, you know, we know that Rangers are going to be up against it tonight, but keep the score respectable, and hopefully that they can win the game or even maybe get a point as well. What do you think of the new format of the Champions League and the Europa League? Because when I saw Rangers group having Man United and Tottenham, if this was the old format, you wouldn't have saw not even one but two battles of Britain in there. So do you think it's good?
I think it's been brilliant. It showcased that the Champions League is not all about all the big teams. It showcased that if you are Celtic and you've not got a lot of money compared to a Manchester City, Celtic can still finish above Man City in the table. And years ago, it was a boring format where you played home or away. But fair play to UEFA. They've proven that they've proven that they can. Michael, I've got the Rangers team for tonight for you.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so Reagan, it's over to you to give us the team.
It's Jack Butland, Tavernier Proper, Balogun Jefty, Baron Raskin, Ridvan, Bajrami Cherny, and Igaman. The range of subs is Kelly, Munn, Dessers, Tom Lawrence, McCausland, Bailey Rice, Lovelace, uh, Nato, and uh, sorry, Michael. I'm not able to pronounce that last one, but aye. So the Rangers
Yeah.
starting lineup is Butland, Tavernier, Proper, Balogun, Jefty, Barron, Raskin, Ridvan, Pedrami, Cherny, and Igamani. So
There you go, and that's the team. I think that's the strongest team that Rangers could put out. Give us your predictions for the game as well. We've got 10 minutes left. Graham said 2-8. My prediction, and if it is 2-8, that would be some week of football, Reagan, because we saw plenty of goals and plenty of action. Just when you mentioned about the bench, and I might have to contradict myself here, Reagan, because what I was saying about McCausland, um, going to Old Trafford and getting that experience as well. But I think we spoke about this on the show recently, or maybe in the past. That's the difference between Rangers and, I dare say, Celtic. Domestically as well, the bench, because when you read the names, there wasn't any biggie, standing out.
oh yeah,
Now
yeah.
I might be wrong. They might come on and score the winning goal. I might have to eat humble pie live on the show at 10 o'clock. I hope not, because don't like humble pie. But that's the kind of difference at the moment as
Michael,
well. You know.
I just want to give you the Man United team.
Oh, cool. Yep.
In goals, it's Van Der, the centre back Delit, Martinez, Bruno Fernandes, Zuxi, Ericsson, Euro, Ahmad, Darlow, uh, 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 Alejandro Garnacho, and Oliver. So it's a strong enough team for Man United, but I think what the two players are kind of standing out there. The captain Bruno Fernandes is playing. You've obviously got Ericsson, and you've got Ahmad as well, like Graham was saying earlier. So, but if you want me to run through the Rangers team again, Michael, just for people
Yep.
that are joining in, I'll get it back up for you. In terms of that Rangers team, I'll just get it for you in a second. But I think in terms of this match, I mean, I think seeing that Rangers team, Michael, I think it just shows you that Rangers have got a very good chance tonight. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, Reagan, the way Man United's going, that you will always say Rangers has got a chance, but if you speak to any supporter, whether it's Rangers, Celtic, Aberdeen, or whatever in Europe, or even Hearts, they would say they've got a chance. I mean, mate, I'm yet to find a supporter it's written off their team. Okay, when Celtic were playing Borussia Dortmund, but they're the champions of the competition kind of
Aye,
thing. But
aye,
I mean, you're not going to go into any game and say, we are going to. We're going to be up against it for 90 minutes or 95 minutes. Go in there and have a go and see what happens, because like as I said to you, it's a one-off game. Anything could happen, and I mean, on paper, pound for pound, Man United has got the better teams, the stronger team.
aye.
I'm talking about financial here, right? But I mean, it just shows you like in a one-off game, anything could happen, because
Aye,
I'm thinking, you know.
I think you're spot on there, Michael. Just to go over that team again: Butland, Tavernier, Proper, Balogun, Jeffy, Barron, Raskin, Redvan, Bajrami, Cherny, and Igaman. Probably the standout players for Rangers on the bench would be the Dessers, Tom Lawrence, and McCausland.
I think this would be a big night for Dethers as well, because obviously, um, if you're a Rangers fan, he's a bit like Marmite. You actually love him or hate him, disappointed with him. But I think, like, if you were for come on, you would say, well, like he misses these chances. But I think you would rather him being in these positions to miss his chances than not at all.
Yeah, I think if you're Rangers, you're probably looking at selling Dessers that this window, because I just noticed when I'm looking through the lineup there, that Danilo is obviously he's on not registered in the Europa League squad. So that'll be something that Rangers are willing to add in the squad. They're willing to add Danilo in the squad. Um, so I feel like Rangers as a squad are in a good place to really attack the match. Michael, but have you got a prediction for tonight, man? For tonight's match, then? Michael, don't know what's happened to. I don't know what's happened to Michael there, but Michael's just drifted off. I was just about to ask him for his prediction for the match, and he's went away. Graham is saying 2-2 is his prediction. I think I would take that, Graham, because then it would show that Rangers have made progression. But I think for Man United, they'll be hoping that they can really stamp their authority on this game and take the game away from Rangers pretty early on. But I think Rangers have shown over the past couple of years that in European competition, Rangers can be a different animal. So I think in terms of Rangers, they'll just be looking to try and get through the first 60 minutes level, or at least trying to do well. And I think like what Rangers can really do is see what they can bring and try and get um, the big players involved, like Igamani or something like that. So I don't know what happened there, Michael. It looks as if you'd fell asleep there.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know what happened. I think the storm was picking up early there tonight. So a couple minutes left. We've got a comment from Robert on YouTube. Thanks for watching, Robert. He says, what's your score prediction tonight, Reagan?
Do you want my head prediction? My head prediction.
I want your heart.
Uh,
No, on you go.
well, if Man United play to their capability, what I think they will do, then I think it could be. I think Rangers will score a few goals, but I still feel. I'll say 4-2 to Man United. 4-2. But I think Rangers will be really competitive in the game. But I still think Man United will be able to see it through.
Yeah, well, I will go. I will go 3-1 to Man United. So there you go. But come back, Robert, at 10 o'clock and see who's eating humble pie, me or Reagan, as well. So keep the comments coming in.
A lot of Rangers fans will be home marine humble pie as well, Michael, because I'm sure they're not expecting the team to go down there and win that game. But it would be really good if they did.
No, exactly. But yeah, so we'll be back at 10 o'clock with the pre-match post-match show, joined by Andy as always. And yep, so my thanks to Reagan for the past. I don't know what happened about 5 seconds ago. My technology is wonderful when it works, but when it doesn't work, because a pain in the you know what.
I
So
would just blame the weather. Everybody else will
exactly.
blame it.
Always take the weather with you. Sorry, I had to get that wee bit in there. Thanks to all your comments. Thanks to Reagan, and thanks to you for watching. And we'll do it all again at 10 o'clock.
Following Rangers and Hearts in Europe with all the reaction here on Independence Live.